Our free men have suffered abuse. Our priests have been burned to death. Our Levites have gone into captivity. Our virgins have been defiled, and our wives have been ravished. Our righteous men have been carried off. Our little ones have been cast out. Our young men have been enslaved, and our strong men made powerless. And what is more than all, the seal of Zion, for she has now lost that seal of her glory, and has been given over into the hands of those who hate us. Therefore shake off your great sadness, and lay aside your many sorrows, so that the Mighty One may be merciful to you again, and the Most High may give you rest, a relief from your troubles. A vision of the heavenly Jerusalem. While I was talking to her, behold, her face suddenly shone exceedingly, and her countenance flashed like lightning, so that I was too affrighted to approach her, and my heart was terrified. While I was wondering what this meant, behold, she suddenly uttered a loud and fearful cry, so that the earth shook at the sound. And I looked, and behold, the woman was no longer visible to me, but there was an established city, and a place of huge foundation showed itself. Then I was afraid, and cried with a loud voice, and said, Where is the angel Uriel who came to me at first? For it was he who brought me into this overpowering bewilderment. My end has become corruption, and my prayer a reproach. Interpretation of the vision. As I was speaking these words, behold, the angel who had come to me at first came to me, and he looked upon me, and behold, I lay there like a corpse, and I was deprived of my understanding. Then he grasped my right hand, and strengthened me, and set me on my feet, and said to me, What is this matter with you, and why are you troubled? And why are your understanding and the thoughts of your mind troubled? I said, Because you have forsaken me. I did as you directed, and went out into the field, and behold, I saw and still see what I am unable to explain. He said to me, Stand up like a man, and I will instruct you. I said, Speak, my Lord, only do not forsake me, lest I die before my time. For I have seen what I did not know, and I have heard what I do not understand. Or is my mind deceived, and my soul dreaming? Now therefore I entreat you to give your servant an explanation of this bewildering vision. He answered me and said, Listen to me, and I will inform you, and tell you about the things which you fear. For the Most High has revealed many secrets to you, for he has seen your righteous conduct, that you have sorrowed continually for your people, and mourned greatly over Zion. This therefore is the meaning of the vision. The woman who appeared to you a little while ago, from whom you saw mourning, and began to console, but you do not now see the form of a woman, but an established city has appeared to you. And as for her telling you about the misfortune of her son, this is the interpretation. The woman who you saw, whom you now behold as an established city, is Zion. And as for her telling you that she was barren for 30 years, it was because there were 3,000 years in the world before any offering was offered in it. And after 3,000 years Solomon built the city and offered offerings. Then it was that the barren woman bore a son. And as for her telling you that she brought him up with much care, that was the period of residence in Jerusalem. And as for her saying to you, When my son entered this wedding chamber, he died, and that misfortune had overtaken her. That was the destruction which befell Jerusalem. And behold, you saw her likeness, how she mourned for her son, and you began to console her for what had happened. For now the Most High, seeing that you were sincerely grieved and profoundly distressed for her, has shown you the brightness of her glory, and the loveliness of her beauty. Therefore I told you to remain in the field where no house had been built. For I knew that the Most High would reveal these things to you. Therefore I told you to go into the field where there was no foundation of any building. For no work of man's building could endure in a place where the city of the Most High was to be revealed. Therefore do not be afraid, and do not let your heart be terrified, but go in and see the splendor and vastness of the building, as far as it is possible for your eyes to see it. And afterward you will hear as much as your ears can hear. For you are more blessed than many, and you have been called before the Most High, as but few have been. But tomorrow night you shall remain here, and the Most High will show you in those dream visions what the Most High will do to those who dwell on the earth in the last days. So I slept that night and the following one, as he commanded me. The fifth vision, also called the eagle vision. On the second night I had a dream, and behold, there came up from the sea an eagle that had 12 feathered wings and 3 heads. And I looked, and behold, he spread his wings over all the earth, and all the winds of heaven blew upon him, and the clouds were gathered about him. And I looked, and out of his wings there grew opposing wings, but they became little puny wings. But his heads were at rest. The middle head was larger than the other heads, but it also was at rest with them. And I looked, and behold, the eagle flew with his wings to reign over the earth and over those who dwell in it. And I saw how all things under heaven were subjected to him, and no one spoke out against him, not even one creature that was on the earth. And I looked, and behold, the eagle rose up upon his talons, and uttered a cry to his wings, saying, Do not all watch at the same time. Let each sleep in his own place, and watch in his turn, but let the heads be reserved for the last. And I looked, and behold, the voice did not come from his heads, but from the midst of his body. And I counted his opposing wings, and behold, there were 8 of them. And I looked, and behold, on the right side one wing arose, and it reigned over all the earth. And while it was reigning, it came to its end and disappeared, so that its place was not seen. And then the next wing arose, and it reigned, and it continued to reign a long time. And while it was reigning, its end came also, so that it disappeared like the first. And behold, a voice sounded, saying to it, Hear me, you have ruled over the earth all this time. I announce this to you before you disappear. After you no one shall rule as long as you, or even half as long. Then the third wing raised itself up, and held the rule like the former ones, and it also disappeared. And so it went with all the wings. They wielded power one after another, and then were never seen again. And I looked, and behold, in due course the wings that followed also rose up on the right side in order to rule. There were some of them that ruled, yet disappeared suddenly, and others of them rose up, but did not hold the rule. After this I looked, and behold, the 12 wings and the 2 little wings disappeared, and nothing remained on the eagle's body except the 3 heads that were at rest, and 6 little wings. And I looked, and behold, 2 little wings separated from the 6, and remained under the head that was on the right side, but 4 remained in their place. And I looked, and behold, these little wings planned to set themselves up and to hold rule. And I looked, and behold, one was set up, but suddenly disappeared. A second also, and this disappeared more quickly than the first. And I looked, and behold, the 2 that remained were planning between themselves to reign together. And while they were planning, behold, one of the heads that were at rest, the one which was in the middle, awoke, for it was greater than the other 2 heads. And I saw how it allied the 2 heads with itself. And behold, the head turned with those who were in it, and it devoured the 2 little wings which were planning to reign. Moreover, this head gained control of the whole earth, and with much oppression dominated its inhabitants, and it had greater power over the world than all the wings that had gone before. After this I looked, and behold, the middle head was also suddenly disappeared, just as the wings had done. But the 2 heads remained, which also ruled over the earth and its inhabitants. And I looked, and behold, the head on the right side devoured the one on the left. Then I heard a voice saying to me, Look before you and consider what you see. And I looked, and behold, a creature like a lion was aroused out of the forest, roaring, and I heard how he uttered a man's voice to the eagle, and spoke, saying, Listen, and I will speak to you. The Most High says to you, Are you not the one that remains of the 4 beasts which I have made to reign in my world, so that the end of my times might come through them? You, the 4th that has come, has conquered all the beasts that have gone before, and you have held sway over the world with much terror, and over the earth with grievous oppression. And for so long you have dwelt on the earth with deceit, and you have judged the earth, but not with truth. For you have afflicted the meek, and injured the peaceable, and you have hated those who tell the truth, and have loved liars, and you have destroyed the dwellings of those who brought forth fruit, and have laid low the walls of those who did you no harm. And so your insolence has come up before the Most High, and your pride to the Mighty One. And the Most High has looked upon his times, and behold, they are ended, and his ages are completed. Therefore you shall surely disappear, you eagle, and your terrifying wings, and your most evil little wings, and your malicious heads. and your most evil talons, and your whole worthless body, so that the whole earth, freed from your violence, may be refreshed and relieved, and may hope for the judgment of mercy of him who made it.